Hey everybody, happy Thursday. So today it's a little hot in Phoenix, so I thought I'd jet out and go hit some balls on the links by the ocean with my chair, just saying. Anyway, this week it's Thursday, so the week's not over, but I just wanted to tell you that it's been the coolest thing. So Monday I turned 50. Scary. But I actually don't mind it because now that I'm 50, I get to counsel and advise and guide these whippersnappers that are calling me about buying their first house. And it's the coolest thing in the world. So I thought I'd do a video on first-time home buyers. There's so much to know. There's so much to learn. There's confusing, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't have to be. It actually should be the really exciting, really cool process that buying your first house is just awesome. And it doesn't have to be scary if you've got somebody on your team who can help you figure out what everything means and explain the process. So I thought I'd do that really briefly, because it's, a lot. And anyway, so first-time home buyers, they call me and they always say, well, I've heard about this down payment assistance or this 0% down or whatever. And while, yes, that is out there, it is. Depending on your specific situation, it may not be your best bet because typically the rates are 2 to 3% higher than you would pay normally. Not only that, when you own a home, you want to get in the habit of saving your money so you can do things to your house, maybe buy things for your house, maybe repair things for your house. In the long run, it's much cheaper than renting, obviously, but you want to have that cushion of the what if. Gosh, what if COVID shows up? No one ever expected that. And the people that have that cushion, they're okay. They're not freaking out. They're certainly not going into forbearance. So thinking about that, call me first. But there are different programs that you can go into. So people say, well, how much money do I need? Well, there's different programs. FHA, it's 3.5% of whatever the purchase price is. Conventional, 5%. And then you have to account for mortgage insurance, which changes depending on the loan amount and the program. You also want to account for closing costs and whether or not you can get seller concessions. I've had so many conversations about that this week. And if you're in a market, Phoenix is one right now, specifically, that I'm seeing a lot of concessions, which is so awesome. Concessions is where the seller gives you a little bit back to pay for those closing costs. It won't cover your down payment, but it will cover, as much of your closing costs as possible. You'll also want to think about prepaids. Prepaids are the taxes and insurance that end up in an escrow bucket that kind of continues as you continue to make your payments. So again, it's a lot of stuff, but bottom line is you want a minimum of 3%, 3.5, of your loan amount or your purchase price to start. And you do want a cushion. So that's one. Another one is you certainly want to get pre-approved. There's a difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification. So pre-qual or pre-qualification is when you call up some online company and you tell them or you plug in, this is how much I make, this is what my FICO is, I think, this is how long I've been working, this blah, blah, blah. Well, they'll spit you a pre-qualification, and that's never a good thing. You want to be pre-approved, especially during COVID, because the guidelines are changing all the time. So it's important to get a pre-approval, and I don't even like that word. I like to call it a mortgage plan. So we've checked that everything's good, that if you get into contract, it's not going to go south. It's not going to end up like, oh my God, I need this now. So that's a really important step. The next step, I think, is where you find your agent. If you already have your agent, awesome. If you don't have one, I work with amazing agents, amazing. And some of them are so good with first-time home buyers. So agent sets you up on a search. You start looking around. You start to see what you like, what you don't like. And then you start to call me and you say, well, what's this and what's that? And then I can give you a picture of what that monthly payment would be, because you want to know your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance, because that's your bill. That's your monthly bill. And sometimes an HOA. So condos, higher HOA typically, higher rate always. So again, there's all these little pieces that you want to take into account. In fact, there are 30 of them. The third thing that happens is, great, yay, you got your contract, you're good. It comes to me, and then the ball starts rolling. And that's when we go into underwriting and we get all the conditions, they call them conditions, that we need to close this loan. And most of the time, I'd say 99.2% of the time, we can close that loan early. So if you're moving into a vacant house, or this, there was a seller that's moving out, those all dictate kind of when you can get the keys to your house. So for a first-time home buyer, my recommendation is contact me or someone like me 6 months prior, maybe even a year prior to when you're thinking about buying a house, because we could use that time to clean up any credit issues that might be there. We can start to plan. We can start to sock away a little down payment money, or maybe even start to think about what that payment might look like and get used to that. What you don't want to do is start to look for a house and then see a refrigerator on sale and go, oh yeah, I'll get that, because that's going to mess up your credit. Don't do that. What you don't want to do is go buy a new car during the process. Trust me, I've seen that happen too. And you certainly don't want to quit your job. Don't do that. I've seen that as well. So there's a lot of do's and a lot of don'ts, but it should be fun to learn what all that is, instead of, oh my gosh, I'm going to freak out, or maybe I won't get approved. That's why you want to talk to somebody about 6 months prior, maybe even a year. So anyway, I know that was very brief overview. There's a lot more little pieces to it. But the sequence and the process should be kind of fun. It's exciting. And if it's not exciting, you've got the wrong mortgage loan officer. So just saying. Anyway, if you want to ask me any questions about a house you're in right now that you've already got your loan for, happy to answer. If you're looking to be a first-time home buyer, I would love to help you, because I think it's super exciting. And you can find me on laurenfisco.com, or you could just reach out and call me, or drop a comment, or hit me up on Facebook or YouTube, whichever you like. So I hope all you first-time home buyers out there are really, sorry, just was getting a phone call maybe from a first-time home buyer. But at least in Phoenix, I know that there couldn't be a better time. Rates are super, super low. Prices aren't going anywhere for a little while. And those concessions seem to be coming in. The last 4 contracts I've gotten in the last few days, all of them had concessions. So ask your agent about concessions. Ask me about concessions. And hopefully we can team and hold you up and make sure that you know everything is going to work in your favor. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I got to go back and hit my shot. I'm better at putting than driving. And chipping, no way. I'm not good at that at all. Got to practice. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you soon.